so happy to have you on, Gemma, by the way. I think that's where we should just start.
Thank you guys for having me.
No, the pleasure is ours.
No, I'm very excited.
How have you been?
Yeah, like I've been good, you know, like I'm quite peaceful. I'm not at peace actually at the moment, considering what's going on around.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But yeah, I'm quite like kind of chilled, thank God.
So just working from home
But
then?
yeah, it's very weird. Yeah, so basically I started a new job in June. So like so my last job, so I had my notes in and I finished it like in like April-ish. So then the start in June. I feel like that's exciting.
Got you. Is my internet okay?
I think it's Gemma's. I think it cut out a bit, yeah.
What? It's like stop.
Yes, that stop-start.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah. We can like hear like the beginning and the end of your sentences.
Really? Okay,
yeah.
let me take out my AirPods. Maybe if that helps.
Are you using 4G or your Wi-Fi?
I'm using. Okay, let me take off my Wi-Fi.
Are you a virgin or
no?
BT?
I'm with Sky.
Oh, that explains it all.
What's going on? Okay,
cool.
Do you know what? I might just go on my laptop.
Yeah.
I can't even see you anymore.
Start again.
That's okay. We'll start it again.
Is it better now?
Let's see. Wait, let's see.
It seems it.
Have you taken it off 4G? Have you taken it off Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
I love these technical difficulties at the start.
I think it's better now. You seem more confident.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cole, did you drop the top?
I dropped the top.
No. I can see the sides are looking a little.
Listen, Gemma, I was thinking to myself, because obviously, like, I was growing my hair because obviously there's nowhere to cut it right now. And I just got to a point where there was just too much hair on my head, so I just put a poll on Instagram, like, should I cut it or not? And the vast majority.
Did you cut yourself?
It's gone.
Got them clippers out.
Jeez.
I'm like a monk right now, bro.
That's crazy.
My hair has not been this low since I was like 5 years old.
Jeez, that's crazy.
I know.
You know
when you go back to work,
it'll
just be that perfect level to obviously get.
Yeah.
But what I'm not looking forward to is the Zoom meeting on Monday morning. Like, oh, Collins, look what's happened to your hair. It looks a bit different, doesn't it?
Oh God! Did you cut your hair? No, I fell asleep it fell off when I was asleep. Like, come on, B. That's what.
Did you say what's happened to your hair? Oh gosh, these people. It's harder being a black girl. It's harder.
Definitely. You're coming with a different.
My God, when I had braids.
Yeah.
You know, when I had braids, that was that was insane. My colleague was like, "Oh, nice hair. What are they, like ropes?"
Oh,
this day, I was like, you know what?
Tragic.
It's like, you kind of have to like.
You have to explain
before you step in. Yeah.
Oh.
You kind of have to, because obviously they're not used to it. So it's like narrow-mindedness.
Yeah.
Kind of, but also they don't actually know. So you kind of have to explain. How long did it take? Like, what did you do? Oh, is this all your hair? I'm like, are you?
Yeah.
You serious?
No, I can't believe it.
I know.
Do you like sometimes like second guess yourself though? Like if you want to like get a hair, like, you know, different hairstyle, do you feel like, do I really want to do this because I'm going to get all this type of attention from work, or do you just go?
Oh, 100%. I got to the point, I think when I first started my job, because it was my first job straight out of uni.
Yeah.
So I was like, like kind of very conscious, doing the same like sort of styles and stuff. And then as I started getting comfortable, I was just like, do you know what? That is what it is. Like, I don't care anymore. I just have to do it. But still, you kind of have that, oh God, what's going to happen when I step in?
A bit anxious.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of styles that you just don't even bother doing. Like, I wanted to do like blonde braids. I was like, you know what? Let's do that. Let's not do that.
Yeah. That is not worth it on Monday morning.
No.
100%.
Oh God, no.
What do you think they'll do if you came in with like a blonde wig?
The thing is, they'll be very subtle about their insults. You know how they're like. They won't be upfront with like. They won't be like, oh my God, what is that? They'll just be like, oh, that's unique. You know,
that's unique.
That's unique. You know, what made you do that?
It's funny because life doesn't really prepare you for these kind of like situations. No one tells you before you go to the workplace that you might face these tropes. But you know, it's cool that we're not going through this shit alone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's hard, like especially going into the real world when you haven't been like, you know, in employment. If you're coming out of studies and stuff, it's hard, kind of to adjust to it, and it is quite like, oh my god, wow, this is a lot.
But
and I understand people get a lot of anxiety.
Do you think we might have had more preparation for it being from the area which we're from as opposed to others? I mean, I can't remember what school you went to, Gemma.
Willie Medward.
Oh, it's over.
It was way worse. You know why it's worse? Because there's only two black girls in my year. Yeah.
That's mad.
Oh my god.
Including me.
So what, you and one other person?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
See, I was like, at least, you know what? Our year was at least, you know, 30%. I'd say 30%. And we was a good, solid clique. And like, you know, but I know what William Edwards was like. That was
15%.
Was it?
We were like 15%. But though, like, everybody knew everybody from the whole entire year, the whole entire school.
Yeah.
Whereas times have changed now. Like, for example, my sister's year.
Yeah.
Nah, it's different, man. Year 7s don't talk to year 8s. Like, everyone's in their own clique. But,
there's enough of them. There's enough of them now.
Exactly. Yeah, there's enough of them to relate within their own circle.
Yeah.
Whereas back then, it was just all of us are in the same pond.
Yeah.
God, I didn't know William Edwards getting down like that, man.
Literally, there was a lot more. Yeah, it was so bad. And there was a lot more black guys than black girls. But even still, that was a stretch. Like, we would all just hang out with each other because there was not enough of us. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that definitely prepares you for
definitely.
You know what's coming, Yeah, it's true. But
all right, so Gemma, I want to get you on to discuss fashion. I'm not going to pretend like you know a fashionista, but we know how you be getting down. You be dripping on the Instagram, man. Like give some of us a chance. Like, you know what I mean?
No.
Foot's on our necks, you know.
No,
for real. Every time I go on there, she's got something different. I'm like, give us a break.
You know what? You gotta keep with it.
You got to, yeah. But you're relentless with it. So how did you actually get into fashion? It's just been something you've always been interested in.
Yeah, I've just always loved putting like outfits together. Since I used to want to be a fashion designer when I was younger. I used to like have a folder of like just like random like designs. I made my mum buy me like this mini sewing machine when I was younger. Yeah, so like I've just always been into it really. And like my mum, she's very fashionable, so I've always kind of like learned from her. But yeah, it's just fun. It's just fun. Like I don't stress about it too much. And that's just the route I've always wanted to take. I mean, other than my 9-to-5 job, this is obviously something that I just enjoy and I do for fun. So yeah, I just been into it.
So who are some people in the fashion industry that you would say you look up to or that you admire what they're doing at the moment?
I would say like, I don't know if you've heard of Elayli May. She's like sick. So she's like a street style kind of person. She's a stylist, celebrity stylist, more for men. And she styles a lot of like celebrities. She's always at the sickest, you know, runway shows. She's like up there basically in the fashion world. Rihanna definitely, like, she's one of my style icons, 100%.
The queen.
Badgaruri, yeah.
I need that.
Yep.
That's carry on.
But who else do I look up to? Oh, there's so many. Do you know what? There's so many like underrated bloggers and stuff that I follow, and they're not, you know, as big as, you know, like a Elayli May or whatever, or like Rihanna, but they are really, really sick, and they just I like following people that have different sort of styles that aren't just the same as, you know, not doing the same as everybody else, and just kind of just follow their own kind of path. But I look at designers as well for inspiration. Most of the time, not just the people that wear the clothes, but actual designers who actually make the clothes, like Laquan Smith. He's really good. Who else? Area, they have really good like collections. But yeah, there's loads I could go on forever.
Nah, I love the way you're just dropping names. It reminds me of like how Kanye used to do when he was in interviews, but it's interesting to see the people you're inspired by. Interesting that you brought up Rihanna, because she seems to influence not just but like everyone, you know what I mean? Her influence is far reaching. I mean,
especially in like 2014. Was it 2012, 2011 when everyone was on the red hair flex?
Honestly,
oh my gosh, yeah.
That was.
You know what? Like that. What it just inspires me, especially being a black woman. Like she inspires everybody from all races, like black, Asian. She inspired like white people to dye their hair red. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just, it's mad. It's mad. That's like a real influence, I think.
For real, her reach is far, even to the point like the red hair thing. For example, that is a prime example of Rihanna doing what she does best, which is inspiring people, not just with her music, but what she wears. When she wears something, it tends to become a trendsetter.
Yeah, exactly.
We're never getting an album from her, by the way.
We ain't never getting that album.
The money's too sweet. The money's too sweet, man.
She tried to tease us a little bit in that Party Next Door song.
She tried. Bad.
That song's not that amazing, though. It's not that amazing to me. It's only amazing because Rihanna's singing it, and then that's it.
Yeah.
She says about 5 words, isn't it? She says leave it like. Nah, I don't need that. I want a verse. Like she could have come harder. I mean,
she knows she doesn't need to do a verse. She doesn't need to do a verse, so she's literally not going to do one.
No, I don't know. I think she'll do an album. I don't know. I might actually have to agree with Collins. It's not going to come for a while, even still. Not when she's making close to 600 million a year.
Is that oh my god! Wow, that's
crazy.
The money's coming in, so why would you stop? You know what I mean? So,
I mean,
got COVID too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's doing sick. I guess it's good for people to venture out there, you know, normal. I think that's what she's doing.
But Gemma, do you feel like if, like, for example, there's a celebrity and they wanna, I don't know, say like a Rihanna who's primarily a singer, but then she wants to make something in fashion, do you feel like there's a high success rate when they make the crossover? Because there's some artists who do it and it doesn't really bang.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Do you know what? I think nowadays it's getting a bit more acceptable. Like you see like Rihanna doing it, Kanye doing it. It's getting more acceptable to kind of jump out that kind of box and then moving into other areas. But I think to get to that stage where it's successful, you have to kind of have a massive influence behind you before, I think. Right. Just because your followers will just go everywhere where you... But I don't know. I think that I've kind of got a smaller following, maybe just because you haven't got that backing behind you.
That's so important, because someone said that the other day, like that people be giving like their brands to influencers to be like, oh, could you help me make, like, you know how people put on Instagram and an influencer will wear their clothes, but you have to make sure that influencer actually has people behind them that will actually be interested in it, because sometimes you just give it to an influencer and then nothing happens with it, and that's because they've got no following. They have loads of followers, but that following actually doesn't like rock with them like that. So I guess
it's not organic. It's not organic.
Exactly. So that's what people have to think about when they go into fashion. Not everyone can do it. Like there's certain people who are big names that I don't think could necessarily get people to wear what they're wearing, despite you know how big their following is. And then sometimes it's not even the artist's fault per se. It's just that their fan base likes them doing that one thing so much that if they try to do something else, they're not going to rock with it, especially if they feel like it's getting in the way of the thing they're good at.
That's true. Yeah, I agree with that. Like it's especially now, like, I think it's important to have. I think everyone, especially at the age where everybody kind of just wants to be big and have loads of followers and loads of likes, all this stuff. But like the real influencers are the ones that are having like organic growth, that are growing without really kind of trying to, if you know what I mean. Like you're not really forcing the whole kind of having like organic, because people actually like who you are and what content you're putting out. But I think that's true.
I think it's all right. So what for you is, before we move on, what for you is the most important thing in fashion? Like, I guess, what would be your advice to people who are just trying to improve their drip? I couldn't think of another way to word that.
No, I hate. Sometimes you gotta be straight with it. No, I hate. Do you know what? I think don't follow the trend because they die out quick. I would say see what you like. Look at other people that you like their fashion or whatever. See what kind of you can take from them, and understand your personal style as well, because your style isn't going to be the same as somebody else's. You might not be able to have that same swag that the next person. But I'll say understand your personal style, like trying to get inspiration other places, if it's social media, if it's looking at magazines or whatever, and then just cater to yourself, and also just have fun with it.
Yeah, definitely.
What makes you feel good. Yeah.
Just, I think the most important thing or what I took from that is that it's just important to be comfortable in the clothes that you're wearing.
Yeah. I think it's a good sign when you wear, like, if you find an outfit that you like and then it makes you feel good and it makes you kind of walk different and talk different, then is it you know what I mean? When you put on that, that Gucci top and you're like,
it's flavors.
Yeah, exactly.
Energy and flavors, yeah.
That's so true. All right, so I guess the next topic is something that I found a bit interesting that happened. So the controversial character 6ix9ine returned, and he came back on Instagram and he came back with a music video. We were quite into 6ix9ine before he went away. Obviously, I feel like music and hip hop always has these characters who are just trolls. 50 did it quite well when he was in the early thousands, but he's come back now. I don't know how people feel about it, like, especially with how he's owning the snitching persona. How does everyone feel about it?
Yeah, do you know what? Unfortunately, he's not going to be alive very soon. Because, like, yeah, I just, do you know what? I like how he owns who he is. But, yeah, I mean, that whole lifestyle is for everybody, but somehow, I mean, Joe, I think he feels confident because he has a big following, and people kind of just rock with him either way. But I don't know, like, yeah, he's very controversial.
Very controversial.
I think. First of all, Demi, you can never compare 50 Cent to 6ix9ine. That's a terrible comparison.
It makes sense in terms of the trolling.
He wasn't trolling. He was really on crud.
50 was really living that.
50 was really on crud. But the thing is, I mean, they didn't bend or fold. They never told. They never snitched. But whereas like 6ix9ine, I've always said from the beginning, there is something odd about him. Even though I don't like him as a character, I do like his music. But I've always said from the very beginning, I've got the receipts on the podcast. You can check previous episodes. I've said it. The guy he's a phenomenal individual. I personally don't like him, but I like his music. Even the one that he recently released, I do like it. It's just, it's unfortunate because, people who came before, they usually paved the way for individuals who are going to come after. So now that he's snitched and now that he's gloating about it, there's going to be another 30 individuals who come in the future who are going to be gloating about snitching, so on and so forth. And those morals, they're just gonna disappear, and you don't know what you're gonna do next. So I mean, it's very unfortunate for the families, of course, what they were doing. But if that was me, if I was 6ix9ine, I wouldn't be involved with gangs in the first place.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
Or I'll do my very best to keep away from them. And he was just dumb enough to say, "Oh, everything's great. I'm making money." Then his pockets were looking kind of thin. His girl was getting slept on.
Yeah,
not slept on, but they were sleeping with his girl, his baby mums. Then they were threatening to kill him. He should have known as an individual to just leave, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I've always felt that way in the sense that I always felt he was a civilian pretending to be something he wasn't, and he got into a situation where he went further and further down the rabbit hole, and then he got to a point where he didn't know how to get out of it. These are real, these are real guys who are really bad about it, and you're not. So when issues going left, it's like, how can you really be surprised when you're in this position where it looks like you're going to spend 50. They're saying, "Oh, you could spend 50 years in jail." That's why when he ratted, I wasn't surprised. I don't think anyone was. We all knew it was coming. The signs were there, but he was a civilian who got himself into trouble. I think the issue I have with him now is the fact that he's trying to justify it when it's like, come on, we all saw. You have to. Sometimes things in life happen, and you just have to accept it. Like this is the error of my ways. But no, I've never seen someone as lucky as him. I don't even think he spent a year in jail and then got out. Like that's insane to me.
Yeah, no, he has some powerful lawyers.
For real,
powerful lawyers. But do you have Collins? How do you feel about it?
I think he's just an attention seeker.
Yeah,
100%.
Like I think when you really think about it, like just the underlying theme of him is he's just an attention seeker, and I think at one point I think even we were guilty of it a bit. Like we kind of justified a lot of his stuff because we liked the music. And I liked, obviously we were a fan of was it Gemma at the time?
Gemma, yeah.
But I mean, I went into the situation like expecting he would snitch, so I'm not surprised about that. But I was like, okay, let's see what the music he puts out. And personally, I mean, I don't like the new song. Personally, I just think it's noise. And that sounds like such an old man thing to say, I just deep that.
No, I'm not a real fan of his music either, to be honest.
Yeah.
No.
And I don't know, like, I agree with you, Demi. I feel like he's just kind of, he's owning it, which, fair enough, but it's not a good look. Does that make sense? And, like, people are caught up. Okay, he's happy, like, he's getting all these numbers and stuff, but people are voyeuristic and we want to see a car crash. So, essentially, people are not viewing it because of how good the music is. They're viewing it because they want to see when it's going to go wrong. Like, he's had to leave his house, like, 2 times now. So, like Gemma said, I don't know if we're going to be around for him to see how it's going to end, you know what I mean? So
no. I think he just caught up with the fame. Like, he's been so self-absorbed to the fact hasn't thought about his family. He's got a son. Has he got a child? He's got a child.
He's got a BM.
He's got. Oh yeah. So he hasn't thought about them. I think he's just so caught up in like his fans and his following, and he makes like exactly as you guys said, like seeking attention. That he's just. But it's actually real. Like it's real. It's real. But I don't think he really gets it.
I mean, if you look at his career, he's just proof that clout is a hell of a drug. You know what I mean? That. He's never satisfied. If his name's not in the conversation, he wants it to be there. I think the thing that's interesting me the most is I don't know why certain rappers keep going at him. Like, just leave him alone. You know what I mean? Meek Mill he seems to have an issue with him. It's like, bro, if you keep going at him, you're just making his name bigger. Meek Mill is one of the biggest rappers right now.
Yeah.
If he's
but then again, like you have to realize that. There are certain things that happen in hip hop, certain times where you have to step in and stop certain situations. I think there was a time where Kendrick Lamar and Drake, they were really about to get at it properly, but someone came and just stopped it and said, "Nah, don't do anything." And then obviously just dissipated, and then nothing came after that except for bars. What else? I mean, there's been situations where it's just like. There's OGs where they look at the situation and like, should we step in, yes or no?
Yeah.
And then when it comes to that point, they do step in and they try and stop it. So with this 6ix9ine situation, it needs to be addressed and it needs to be stopped. Like someone like Meek Mill, we don't want to see him go to prison again. But at the end of the day, the roads and the code, the code on the road, and then also just authenticity. You can't be behaving like this and then think everything's just going to be fine. Everything's just going to be butterflies. Someone has to stop him. Someone has to question him. What are you doing? And more importantly, I think someone has to give him the consequences. Like, listen, you're moving around like you can't be touched.
I hear what you're saying. I do agree, but I just don't think Meek Mill is the person to do that, because all he's done is added fuel to the fire. Like his name. You just helped Tekashi. That's what he needs. That's what he feeds off. He feeds off other people's energy.
Yeah.
If Meek comes in just saying, this is what you shouldn't be doing, beefing with him, that's more news for Tekashi. If we don't talk about him, at some point he will go away, which I think will happen. I think at the moment Goober's seeing such a rise and there's such interest in it because it's like the first rapper to come home in under a year and he snitched, and the whole story behind 6ix9ine is endless. So it's interesting. But I believe at some point, I don't know if he can maintain this, but if rappers keep presenting themselves as opponents for him, which is what he wants, he won't go anywhere. That's, so in Meek Mill and doing what he's doing, he's only helping 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine wants you to keep going at him and beefing him. It's another headline for him. That's all he cares about.
Can you separate? This is actually a genuine question. Can you separate the artist from the music?
To an extent, I think it depends on the context. Like, what did they do? How did they get there? Kind of thing. Like, for example, R. Kelly.
He's out here.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not listening to him no more. You can't, like, it's to an extent.
You can't step in the name of love.
No, we can't.
Demi,
whoa,
no more stepping out here. No more stepping out here.
You know what's so peak? I was watching Space Jam, and obviously the first song that plays, I Believe I Can Fly, and I was singing it, and I was thinking to myself, hang on a minute, this was made by R. Kelly. Like this
does it make you feel uncomfortable?
A bit, because that movie is like a childhood classic to me. So the fact that it's littered with that song, it just makes me feel some type of way, man.
No, he's the worst.
Yeah, he is the worst.
It's hard to separate the music from the person. Even Michael Jackson to some degree, even though it's debatable. But people. It's a good question, Eman. What do you think? It's tricky, innit?
It's real. It's techie, to be honest, because there are some songs where it's just like you listen to them. If you go anywhere and they're playing that song, you're gonna actually vibe to it, regardless. And the thing is, you're going to know and understand that person did a bunch of stuff that you deem as devil-like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like real demon time. That's what you're on.
I said real demon time.
Demon time.
And then, I mean, but even to a certain degree, like for example, hip hop is majority. I'ma come through, bust down, put a gun to your mum's mouth.
Yeah, that's true.
It's pretty much that. But the thing is, we already know that they're not gonna go there. Whereas somebody like R. Kelly, he's done a whole list of just madness. So when it comes to the music, can I separate them? Yes, I can. But it's tough. It's tough on, as you said, to a certain extent, it's tough on what they did. Because I can't step in the name of love. Because I'm thinking, mine's been stepping on kids, weeing on kids, doing the madness the most.
Yeah.
And I can't really dance to that song. So, But then in certain situations where it's like, I know that this song, that's my song. Like, that's my song. Like, I can't separate the guys. I can separate them, but that's my song, isn't it?
It's just tricky. I mean, I think also depends.
It's real techie. You can't.
I think for certain artists it's over, but I guess like people like Michael Jackson, where it's a bit more grey area, or people choose to ignore it. Is the music just so fire that we choose to ignore it? It's tough,
I think we definitely ignore it.
Go on, Gemma.
Yeah, I think we definitely ignore it. Like, and sometimes we're just so blinded by, oh, I love that artist, I love their music. I think we are, but to an extent where for example, R. Kelly, his stuff was so public. We knew all the ins and outs. You knew the backstory. Who was. When you know who the victims are, it's a bit easy to separate them. But that's very okay. How can you not hear me?
Yo, your internet went south.
What?
It was talking like in slow motion. Yeah, you can hear me now.
God. This is wild. Okay. Am I clear now?
You're clear now. You're clear now.
The funniest thing, you guys are acting like, everything's cool.
I'm going Hopefully, I'll just say repeat yourself, but hopefully it works this time.
No, that was a whole paragraph in slow motion, man.
Oh man, that's so sad.
Hey, we shouldn't be laughing.
We got you, Gemma. Don't worry.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
I can't deal with these technical issues.
Okay, go.
You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Kind of forgot what I was saying, you know, I'm not going to lie.
Well, it was just about how, I guess, certain artists... Do you know what? I think I'll get what you were saying. Barely, but I got it. I think it was more along the lines of where it's clear as day. For example, R. Kelly, there's evidence, you know, the women have come out and they've said X, Y, and Z. It's clear, you know, like you can't mess with that. I guess on certain occasions it's just a case of, can you separate the art from the artist? I think especially with the Me Too movement that happened in cinema, you know, there's great films that people are in, like I guess House of Cards, for example, with Kevin Spacey. Do you just ignore that? Like, you know, especially for me, season 1 is some great TV. Do I just ignore that and don't bring it up in conversation, or the great films that he's been in? So it's, I guess it'll be a personal choice. I know some artists will be easier for other people than, you know, so it will just boil down to what you like and who you like, more or less.
Yeah.
But basically. So the third topic was, Collins, you put this on the TL, or at least this is where I saw it from. So Doja Cat Say So went number 1. I'm happy for her because, you know, I love Doja Cat. But,
I love her.
there was a fan that was streaming her music like hundreds of times. It was ridiculous. I don't know if you've seen the video to help the chances of the song going number 1. Do we feel like, how does that sit with us? Do we feel comfortable with that happening? And do we think there's been other instances where, you know, they've played some tactics to go number 1 and have something, have some, I guess the question is, have some songs had success and you've been like, I don't even know how this song is doing well, why I saw it on the radio?
Yeah.
All the time.
Anything Selena Gomez does.
Till this day, I've not heard of Selena Gomez.
I've never heard of Selena Gomez song in my life.
Most streamed female artists on Spotify. Like, how?
That's a lie, man. I can't.
Is she?
How's that possible? Apparently.
Wow.
Yeah, at one point she was.
Wow. She's the most followed person on Instagram. I think she's.
But what do you want to see about Selena Gomez? You know, where you place it
down. I remember the time what happened to Mace the rapper, when he had 12 million followers, and then Instagram did a clear up and said, "Listen,
no way, really?
Why maybe was that?
Because?
Sorry.
Why'd they do that?
They just wanted to clear it up. I don't know what happened. It wasn't Mace. Like, they weren't targeting Mace. They were targeting everybody. But it's the way Mace went from 12 million to 200,000.
That's crazy.
Nah, that's.
I mean, that sounds a bit more
I remember that time. Yeah, I think that because that's like fake followers, isn't it? Like you can buy so many followers. Yeah, I remember that time when everyone's following count kind of went down a little bit, but it showed like who has organic followers, who doesn't. I didn't know about the Mace though. That's insane.
Mace imagine buying 12 million followers for Instagram to be like
crazy.
We're getting it out of here. See, the thing is, it wouldn't add up. So if he went on Mace's Instagram account, you'd expect him to have, if he posts a picture, he'll probably get about 1 million likes. But Homeboy's probably getting like 30,000, and it just was not adding up. So Instagram,
right, even 30,000 is alright, but it's just like
but if you've got 12 million followers and you're getting 30,000 likes, that doesn't add up. You get what I'm saying?
The engagement is 0.001. Like, people like that.
That's so Instagram will work that out.
Wow.
I feel like they did that with some, and we know Instagram is hot on people's toes as well. So the way they got Tory out of here with his quarantine radio when he was having girls on there doing God knows what.
Crazy.
They are watching, so you've got to be careful. But is there any other artists that we can think of that, you know, sometimes they've had success and it's just been like, how has this happened?
It happens every so often.
So many.
It's
I heard Nicki Minaj. I heard she used to, Yeah, I heard. I think who was it? She like I have arguments with so many different artists. Who was it? I think one of the was it. Azalea? No, it wasn't Azalea. Another female artist. Apparently, the female artist was saying that Nicki Minaj's people was threatening other artists to not work with this other female rapper. So so basically that Nicki kind of gets all the good features on her like tracks and stuff, and the other artist doesn't. Apparently she's been doing it with other female artists. I'm not sure how true that is. This is just what I hear. But I'm sure there's so much crazy stuff that happens in the music industry that we're not aware of. Like probably even like stuff like radio stations and you know, probably only streaming a certain type of music or certain person because they know this person, they've probably been paid. Who knows? Like, I'm sure there's so many crazy things. I mean, we'll never know though. We'll never know the truth.
Do you know what? The longest week of my life is that week where Justin Bieber was trying to get Yummy to #1. And he was doing everything. Download a VPN. Like, it was the fact that a fan account made this is how you can help Yummy go to #1. And then he took it from the fan account and then put it on his own actual Instagram. Was like, yo guys, we have to get Yummy to #1. And he wasn't thinking about anything else. Like, he had a fan on his Instagram live and she was speaking Spanish and he was just like, Como te español, Yummy. That's all he cared about. The games Justin Bieber was playing to get Yummy to #1 were disgusting. Shouts out to Roddy Ricch, the Black King, for stealing that #1.
Yeah, he stole that. I love that. Yeah, I love that.
But it's just crazy how certain artists can let their ego get in the way. Because you don't have, it's not your right to go #1. You know what I mean? I mean, it was quite nice this week to see Doja Cat and then, what's her name? How can her name's Megan Thee Stallion go head to head for #1? Yeah. And that was legit. Like, you felt like, you know, they did what they did and it was done the right way. Obviously, they both had the remixes, which helped out. But when artists, it just stinks. That's the thing. And it makes you feel uncomfortable. Like, why are you begging? You know, if you're
Justin Bieber.
For real, that's what it is. If the stands are gonna do it, if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it for you anyway. Like, it's gonna happen. The fact you have to beg to go #1 is kind of worrying. Yeah. And even, I don't know, for example, the bundles which people were doing to go #1 as well, which was making people feel, you know, uncomfortable. It's just interesting the tactics which the music industry is now using to help songs have success.
To succeed, yeah. Because the thing is, but then again, it's like, if you're a recording label and you're trying to get artists to #1, I mean, it's a stat sheet basically. We have this many #1s. We're gonna acquire more talent just because of our statistics and how we can get artists to #1. So, but with Justin Bieber, I don't know why he did that. Like, he's already, as much as I've not listened to his music, he's a GOAT. He's a GOAT at the current moment.
He doesn't need that.
He doesn't need that clout. That's just that's clout all the way. He doesn't need it.
It was not fun. That was a long week, and then to see Roddy Ricch win and defeat him was beautiful.
With ease.
Exactly.
And it wasn't even by force as well. Like, everybody just vibed that song.
It was just, I think at the end of the day, that's exactly right, Eman. It's just when the music is good, it will triumph. That's simply it. The fact of the matter is, for example, a song like Yummy was just not a good song. And Justin Bieber's had hits before. He's had #1s, you know. Sorry was my jam when it came out, but that Yummy, throw it in the trash. That's where it belongs.
I think it's a good song. Song. But yeah, not on the same level. Not on the same level as his old stuff, I gotta say.
Gemma, what songs are you actually looking forward to hearing when we're allowed back out?
What songs? Oh, I'm listening to songs all the time. What's on my playlist at the moment?
I'm just trying to hear Billie Jean.
Yeah, that's true. Some gas music. We love that. How do you feel about Pop Smoke though?
R.I.P. to the GOAT, man. That's for real. That's
oh wait, yeah, he's got an album coming out. Did you hear? Yeah.
Even if it's bad, it's gonna be great. I'm not gonna let my ears say anything else, man. #1 album we're supporting.
100%. But like stuff like that, where does the money go to? Does it go to
I think we'll just go to his estate.
Goes to a label and his estate.
Yeah.
And whoever owns his masters, which is probably the label.
Yeah.
Was he signed?
He's signed to Steven Victor. I don't think. I think they'll probably give like majority of the masters to his parents,
his family. Yeah, hopefully.
I hope they do. Yeah.
I think those people are just good individuals. I think they will.
Yeah. I feel more comfortable knowing that he wasn't signed to a major because I don't know. You could just see like his family not getting anything, and from his debut album, which is hotly anticipated. I mean, I always do feel uncomfortable with posthumous albums because the artist isn't involved, and they always say the same thing. Oh, so and so. It was literally the music he was recording up to the last week before he died, but it's just not the same. So I do hope that, despite that, we do still get good music from him because. No, he was elevating the sound, and I can't wait. Yeah. But what else are you listening to?
I'm listening to kind of a lot of chill music. Snow Allegra.
Oh, she's amazing, man.
She is the queen.
She's amazing.
Yeah. She's sick. Who else am I listening to? Daniel Caesar a little bit. I'm listening to a lot of old Drake. Surprisingly. Same. Yeah, I think that's classic music right there. I was actually gonna take when does Future's album come out? Has it come out yet?
It's already out.
It came out.
It's already out. Okay.
Cole, you listen to it?
I haven't listened to it yet.
I'll listen to that tomorrow.
I'll listen to that tomorrow as well. Yeah, but I'm hearing similar.
It's just Future, isn't it? You know what you're gonna get before you go in, really. He isn't going to make anything as good as self-titled Future or DS2. So you're looking for your singles, really. But I guess that the topic of Future goes quite nicely into our next topic because I'm quite nervous to listen to his next album because I've seen 20 songs and it's an hour plus long. I don't know what Future's got to say that much. I don't want to hear. Yeah. He's got Life Is Good on there and Life Is Good the remix. Like, why? You know what I mean? Like it's just
streaming, bro.
We know why they do it, but it is ruining that album experience. Like,
it depends on the artist. I think nowadays our attention span's getting smaller, so you'll find a lot of artists will look to make an album that's between an hour or like 40 minutes. But I think we shouldn't. I think we shouldn't just automatically penalize an artist for making a long album, but in this particular case, I agree because with Future, you know what he's going to talk about.
Have you listened? Do you have an album like that you think is good that is 15 plus songs? I mean, it's hard to think off the top of your head.
I can tell you, like Kanye has a few, Drake has a few.
Yeah, Drake. Drake does.
Sure, I guess.
Who else?
But even
Chris Brown has like.
No, we're not talking about that. No,
that man put out a 40 track album with 20 plus deluxe.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like, I think I ended up probably
that? Like, what happened at the label that sounds like, you know what? Put every single song you've been working on the album.
He's got too much music. I feel like he sleeps in the studio because every second he's got a new song with somebody, like someone. Like that album was just too much for me. It was overwhelming.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot. I just could not listen to Slam and B because I was like, I don't know what I'm in for. And there's certain things like that can make albums bad. There's so many tropes that the joint album that was going on for a while just wasn't working because people who don't have chemistry were trying to force it. Who else? The album that's too long from artists who don't need to. Like, I was held at will by the Migos on Culture too, because why do they need to make an album that's an hour and 30 minutes? You know, and people. J. Cole's a bit responsible for this, or does this a bit, but everything sounds the same by the time you got to the fourth track, and you feel like you've just listened to one long song. And
I disagree.
Pardon?
Oh, yeah, same.
No, I felt that way with what's that? The one For Your Eyes Only. I just feel, especially because he does the production himself, he doesn't let anyone else in. It can get quite samey, and a lot of trap hip hop does this as well. Like Little Baby's last album, I like Little Baby as well. That album was one long song. What's his name? What's the idiot?
You could say the same thing for D Block Europe as well.
Yeah, of course.
But the thing about them is just that there's just some songs you'll probably hear like later on, and it's like, how did I miss this song? And then you listen to the whole album again. It's like, okay, no, it's something I've had.
Missed some gems out there.
Sure.
I don't know if you've seen that clip of Beyonce talking about albums. I don't know. She's basically saying how people don't listen to like a body of work anymore. They just try to skip through.
I'm telling you.
Individual. And I was like, I really felt that one right there.
In that video, she looked amazing. Did you see the chocolate? Like,
she did.
Yo,
I know. And I don't think she doesn't any makeup either. She doesn't make.
She got braids in.
She got braids on. I remember. I think she just gave birth to Blue Ivy. Then I remember watching documentary.
That's why.
That post-pregnancy glow. Honestly, it's a real thing, man.
Yeah, definitely.
What a queen.
But yeah, that was real. Like people like, so I listen to, my favorite artist is Janae Aiko. She's like, I love her albums. Like, she doesn't really go with the trend. She doesn't go with anything that's kind of like hype or whatever. She just does her kind of thing. And I enjoy listening from start to finish. Like people like her and Drake, I probably have them like, them two. I have all of their albums from like when they started to like recently, and I just like.
What do you think of her newest album? What is it called?
I love it. I love it.
Chilombo.
Yeah, Chilombo. Yeah. That's her name.
It's her name.
Yeah, that's like her name.
It's her real name.
It's her surname. Her real surname. So Aiko's actually a middle name. Yeah. I think it's really good. I prefer her old stuff though. Like her old like mixtapes, EPs, they were like, but I like it. Yeah, I think it's good.
No, I quite liked it as well. I like that song with her, BS.
BS, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that song.
Yeah.
Demi, do you remember when we found out that Doja Cat's name is Amala?
I was in tears. Yeah, I got.
Yeah, she's South African.
Say what?
Yeah.
Nah, Doja Cat's doing her thing, but she lied to us. I'm gutted, man. There's a special place for what she did.
What did she do?
She said if she goes number one, she's gonna get her boobs out, and she didn't.
So... You lot are too thirsty.
You perverts.
How can you blame me? She said she's gonna do it.
Thirsty.
That's why that guy was streaming it 100 times.
That's why. There we go. That's why.
Don't worry, I got you.
House looking like a streaming farm, bro. It's crazy.
I needed that. She just didn't comply. You can't make false
She's got some gems.
She's been great for a minute, man.
She only just recently blew up for like an old catchy song, but she's got some really old good songs. Like there's a song I've only heard it called "So High."
That's the first song I heard from her. Yeah,
that is probably. I think it's her best song.
No, I'm not gonna lie. First song I heard was that cow song.
Bitch, I'm a cow.
That's what made her blow. That's the thing. Like that's the song that made her blow. Like you have to kind of.
Crazy.
It's quite sad though, but.
Do you know what I love about her? I don't feel like certain people would be like, oh, that's a song that made me blow up and I kind of regret it. But I think she embraces it.
Yeah, she don't care.
She loves that.
Yeah.
But no, she's great. And she's got bags of personality. So
100%.
Exactly, which a lot of stars at the moment don't, which is why I think people like Meg and herself are seeing the success which they're having.
Definitely.
But Doja's fantastic. Interested to see what she does going forward. Did you listen to her album?
No, I haven't listened to her album. What is it good? What do you think of it?
I don't know. It seemed like that would be your wheelhouse.
No, not really. I think her new stuff is just a bit like out there, isn't it, for me? I'm gonna give her a try though. I'll give her her new album a try. We'll see. We'll see. Because I don't know what's the vibe. What's the album vibe? Is it like?
My interaction with Doja Cat is the memes and just the memes and the song that go popular. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I just like the person, which I think nowadays is rare. So I'll celebrate her any chance I get, even if she is a liar.
Even if she's a liar. You are funny, bro.
So I guess last topic of the day. So everyone's at home a bit more, definitely at home a bit more. So we've got free time. What are people watching on TV?
I'm watching more Netflix. So like, I watch New Girl like every single day. So
Oh my God, that show's terrible.
New Girl, I'm really hurt. Do you know why I'm hurt? Because I think it's amazing. I'm rewatching it. So I've watched it like years ago when it first came out, and I'm rewatching it because now on Netflix. It's amazing. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
Do you know? I don't know. Do you know? I tried, and do you know what? To be fair, I did finish season 1 of it, but I just thought, in some aspects, it was just like unwatchable TV. That was for me. I mean, that was to me.
Can you say that?
Do you think?
I just didn't like it.
It's quirky. It's quirky.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, I think it's quirky.
I watched it. I watched it up until like season 4 or 5.
I know you quite liked it, so do you know what? It's probably me that's wrong, but I just did not get into it.
I thought it was decent, man. I just didn't finish it for some reason. I don't know why I didn't finish it. But
Do you know what? The thing for me is, I just did not like the main character, so I couldn't. I thought,
really?
What's her name?
And what's her name? Sorry.
Zoe.
Nick is
her
good,
real name
and I like
her name's Zoe.
Nick, and is it Schmidt?
I love Schmidt.
Schmidt's hilarious.
Yeah, Schmidt is funny, but if I can't vibe with the main character who the show is actually about, I couldn't. Yeah. That's what it was. She was jarring, like.
You think?
Unbearable.
Gemma, why do you like the show? I feel like Demi's absolutely running it over.
You're tearing it apart. You're tearing it apart.
Let's be positive here.
I love it. Do you know what? I think Schmidt carries the show. Like, he's hilarious. I think the more you watch it, the more you get to love the characters. Sure. I guess it is important. Maybe it's like my mind.
No, I think a lot of people like it. So you're not in the I'm in the minority, if anything. But I just could not vibe with it. It's the same way that I could say something that, and you might not like it.
What are you watching then?
Since I've been so critical, so I finished Money Heist. That was
okay.
Good.
I haven't watched that, but
I'd recommend it. It's easy viewing. I think at first 2 seasons are elite, but 3 and 4 aren't great. Yeah, Money Heist was my main aim to finish, and then I've just been watching a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so rewatching it because it's easy viewing. Plus the new season.
If you like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you must like New Girl. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is quirky too. Like, what do you mean?
Do you know what? I would agree. They're in the same wheelhouse, but I like the main character. I like Jake, where I don't like the main character in New Girl. So that's probably what does it.
Okay.
Or what's tipped it over the edge for me. Watching some Rick and Morty because a new season's come out. So that's kept me entertained. And then where you've got the time, you just watch movies as well, innit? So that passes the time. What's everyone else watching? Besides me and Gemma going out here about New Girl.
I know.
I've been watching a few things. I've been watching The Wire and The Office in particular. Because there's 2 shows everyone bangs on about and I haven't watched properly. I'm really enjoying The Office. The Office is amazing. And The Wire is good. It's a bit slow, but I can see why people acclaim it so much because there's a lot of social commentary. But I was watching a show yesterday called The Nest. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about it.
No.
Long story short, basically, it's about a couple who they can't have a baby together, so they find a surrogate, and the surrogate just starts moving mad. Like she's an underage.
I've heard of this one.
Yeah.
Is this? Yeah. I know. Yeah.
She gets the peas and she just moves bonkers. It was actually a good little watch because.
No, I've watched this.
Really?
Is this? Was it a movie or series?
It was like a 5 season, 5
Yeah,
episode
I've watched
season.
this.
Yeah.
It
was a decent little watch. BBC always seem to make these like good like short shows. But other than that, I've been watching movies here and there, but yeah, just majority of The Wire and The Office really.
Why does she get the peas and just move mad?
It's 18-year-old, so like 1 minute you want something, next minute you want something else. She had a lot of issues at home and like her upbringing and stuff, so it's just interesting. It actually made me think of what would you say? Because I see a lot of people getting on to Jeff Bezos about being like almost going to be a trillionaire. I was going to ask you guys, what would you say is a life-changing amount of money to you?
Oh gosh,
I think
I don't know what number.
$100 million.
Would you say?
But then again, in this financial economic situation, the value of money might change it might change overnight. So currently at the moment that we're in, 100 million would be life changing.
So not a million. A million wouldn't be life changing.
Nah, I don't think a million would ever be life changing.
A million would be life changing if I was 12.
Oh, come on, man. Come
no,
on.
honestly, back in the day, 12, you were 12, bruv, a million can get you a lot. Now, to buy like a 3-bedroom house, you're almost looking at 400. It's like,
very true.
When? Yeah. Back then, when you were 12,
man said get your peas up.
basically, I said get your peas up. Gemma, what would you say? How much would you?
Yeah, I think I think like a few 100 million. Or even like
100 million. 300
you know what?
Sorry.
Sorry. You know what? I think probably like 10 million, I'd say, maybe starting actually thinking about it. I think because that way you can keep some for yourself, flip it, invest it, invest it, and then you get more money.
Yeah.
So I think anything that kind of can, like,
I agree. I think 10 million and above that's life changing, because you could have a bad year, or you could just be bad with money and you could blow $1 million very quickly. That is not hard. But 10 million, I think that's changing. Like that's game changing for you, your family. And then you start, I think once you get to that 10 million, you could start to think about generational wealth as well. Like, this is money I could pass down to my kids. And if you invest wisely, and with 10 million, you can actually see your worth increase as well. But I think 100 million, like, that's the thing. I think the problem, my stance on the Jeff Bezos thing, which is first of all, people who are bothered by it, there's nothing we can do. Like, he's created a successful company, and it's just happened to, he's worth $1 trillion. Everyone uses Amazon. So people saying boycott Amazon, what are you gonna do? Like, it's become a part of life. Like, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Could he? I'd just like to think maybe he could do more, because there's always those stats like he has enough money to end world hunger X amount of times. That all you hope is that those people that earn that amount, do good with the money as well. But us screaming and shouting about it, it's not going to make him less of a trillionaire. If he's on his way there, he's on his way there. And you're not going to stop using Amazon. So what's the... I don't get the complaints personally.
Wait, so how much is he worth right now? Wait, let me just...
I think it's still like 150
100 billion,
yeah.
So I don't know how he's on his way to, because is that for like the next...
They planned it out. I don't know for how long, but they've somehow calculated it that he's on his way.
I thought it was like tomorrow he's going to become a trillionaire.
Oh, no.
I'm thinking to myself, it's not possible. I mean, well, to be honest, I think he could actually. Within a span of 5 years, he probably could. If he plays his cards right, he can actually become a trillionaire.
Yeah.
Right? 2026?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, well, close enough. Yeah, no, if he plays his cards right.
That's crazy.
If he plays his card right and makes the correct investments, which he's definitely going to do, I don't see why that projection would change. And I don't see what's the word I'm looking for? The way Amazon is built, I don't see it falling. I don't see its importance being its importance depreciating within society. I don't see something better coming along. So
well, to be honest, you have to think about as well. Like, some governments might turn around and say, "Listen, you have to break up your company into several different companies." So he may lose wherever it is, because it comes to a point where a monopoly is obvious.
But is it a monopoly if it's just Amazon?
No, because right now there's Amazon, there's Walmart, there's Google.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
There's Microsoft. There's like a lot of companies, even Samsung. Like, Samsung is just doing what they're doing, but There's a lot of companies out here. I mean, they might just turn around and say, listen, you have to break up the company and become separate things, separate entities.
Yeah.
Same thing with BT as well.
What's BT got?
BT is 3 different companies.
Oh, okay, I see.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the closest thing that was to a monopoly was that when Disney was trying to buy Fox after owning everything they already own, and then it's like you want to add all the Fox stuff on top of that. So, I mean, yeah, I guess that's an interesting point that you've raised. It boils down to if things change. So they could start taxing him a lot more heavily, which is what the government should be doing anyway. But if the things aren't in place, they're not in place. If he continues to get the tax break and he's taxed the way he is, then that as well will only further how likely he'll become to being a trillionaire.
But I guess, like, say if you were in that position where you've like worked hard to build this company, and then people are saying, no, you need to be taxed more. Like, is it a bad thing, or is it like,
everyone can keep pin, man?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I think it's is it my fault that I'm this big now? No, because I've served the need. I've found the purpose. I've created it. I've created this amazing company that everybody wants to do. Everyone kind of wants to be like him, really.
Yeah, that's.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and then now they're like, oh no, this is too much. Like, you're earning too much money. Like, he needs to be taxable. All this.
Listen,
stuff. But really, everybody wants to be like him.
If I was on my way to becoming a trillionaire and everyone was complaining, these boys already know. When I won the Clash, I was not sensible. I would be doing trolling videos till the death of me. I'd fill a pool up with 100 million and swimming it back like Scrooge McDuck.
Eat some food and wipe it with $100 bill. Like,
no, you say that now. You say that now.
Nah, I'm being ruthless with it.
It's just the pressure of being number one, isn't it? That's what happens when you rise to the top. You get more people who want to throw stones at you. So
definitely,
that's the way I see it, to be honest.
But I mean, what do you do? I mean, you've said it. You've accomplished it. I mean, I guess people are angry from the misinformation about the tax situation.
Yeah.
I looked into it and it's like it made sense on why he's not getting taxed, but because of the misinformation. But then again,
does he not get taxed at all?
It's not that he doesn't get taxed. It's just the way the tax was set up, so he didn't pay tax. It's just the way it's set up. I've forgotten the way they explained it, but they explained it in a very detailed way, and it made sense to me. But I think people are just angry at the fact like small businesses are not really the ones who are eating. I mean, it's only Amazon, Jeff Bezos that's eating. I mean, there are other small businesses out there like stores that just went out.
Yeah,
they just went out of date. To be honest, they didn't establish themselves to actually evolve and become something like Amazon. Yeah.
If you don't evolve, you won't survive. That's the key. Like it's the same way where small businesses were complaining when large supermalls were coming into towns and cities in America, and they were like, but they didn't evolve. They didn't all come together and be like, let's be this one conglomerate, because everyone was out for themselves. And then I don't know. We could see in the future malls will start complaining about online shopping, because you're already seeing it. Companies like House of Fraser and Debenhams, them men are always about to go out of business, but it's because they've not adapted. Everything's online. Even you look at Primark, I can't believe don't have an online presence. They've gone from making 650 million a month to making zero because they don't have an online presence. You have to adapt that as well.
And the funny thing is, on Don't Believe the Hype podcast, shouts to them, they spoke about the TFL. And something as big as the TFL, Travel for London, you would never think they would ever have a financial issue.
Yeah.
But because of the pandemic, they're almost about to be wiped out clean.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
But
it's madness.
Mad.
But Primark should have just evolved immediately because they became too big because of the first recession. They established themselves, and then all of a sudden, you don't go to the internet. Now you're in a mess.
I could not believe it. It doesn't make any sense to me. A company that big and that powerful doesn't have an online presence, or you can't shop online, even for rainy days like the one we're currently having. But we'll see. They could be someone that once everything goes back to normal, they could come back and survive and thrive. Because I know I need my socks and underwear. So
I know
they'll be seeing me. They'll be seeing me
for sure, man.
But
yeah, I think it's crazy.
It is crazy times, but
crazy times we're living in.
For real.
Crazy times, guys.
But thank you, Gemma, for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
Keep enjoying New Girl. And
I will happily. All right.
I can hear the shade.
You better hear the shade.
But no, thank you so much for coming on. Tell the people where they can find you online.
Yeah, so you can find me online on Instagram. So Gemma Katrina _B. That's my Insta. I haven't got Twitter or anything. I used to, but yeah, that's me.
Perfect. Thank you once again for coming on. You've been an absolute star. So we appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. It's been so fun.
Always. Hopefully we can have you on and next time and actually be able to be in person.
Yeah, for sure.
No problem. Take care. Have a great day.
And you guys, stay safe.
Bye. You too.
Bye.